Now, one of my favorite genre crossovers is between horror and comedy, two distinct genres that on paper seem like an odd pairing, but in some movies they actually end up complementing each other perfectly. I bring that up because the subject of today's video is a prime example of one of those movies. But first, now who wants to talk about zombie movies? Now, hi everyone, welcome to the video. Referred to as a romantic comedy with zombies, Shaun of the Dead tells the story about a guy named Shaun who's really not having a good time. He's stuck on a dead-end job, his long-term girlfriend just broke up with him, oh, and there's a zombie apocalypse happening at the same time as all of this. The setup is that of an early 2000s romantic comedy, including the cliche romance between a man-child character archetype in Shaun and a straight level-headed love interest in his girlfriend Liz. But what makes this movie stand out to me is how it manages to shift its focus from this to this. The director Edgar Wright and writer-actor Simon Pegg set out to make a horror movie satire that is a fun mixture of a romantic comedy and a zombie flick inspired by 1978's Dawn of the Dead. Their little experiment achieved both financial and critical success, that they ended up doing something similar years later with the movie Hot Fuzz in 2007 and again in 2013 with The World's End. These three films are considered part of an unofficial trilogy known as the Three Flavors Cornetto Trilogy, named after the ice cream brand of choice of the director and our main characters in each movie. Now, an unofficial trilogy are three movies, usually made by the same filmmaker, that narratively are not connected, but they seem to have a similar style, they explore similar themes, and they usually have recurring actors playing the same or a different variation of their character within the three films. I've always liked this name because I feel like it defines the three films perfectly. Just like an ice cream comes in a variety of flavors, so does these three films in terms of the genre and style they play around. Hot Fuzz is a mixture of a cheesy buddy cop movie and a mystery thriller, and The World's End is a mixture of a comedy adventure with an alien invasion twist to the story. This movie is full of Edgar Wright's playful dialogue and visual humor. I like the way Edgar Wright uses fast camera edits to essentially tell jokes. There's also this funny scene where the TV seemingly foreshadows the coming zombie apocalypse. Shaun also walks into frame in the beginning in a manner to suggest that he's a zombie, only for it to be revealed otherwise as the camera pans up. The acting is also pretty good from everyone involved, and the film manages to balance seamlessly between the horror and comedic elements. We also get a bit of slapstick humor, and the dialogue is really funny, especially without they're delivered.
I have to know if she's all right.
Why?
Because I love her.
Alright, gay.
You could be terrified in one moment, only for you to be laughing uncontrollably in the next. I like how the story builds up as well. The zombies appear almost like a punchline to a joke. They are placed in the background as the story begins, creating some funny scenarios where our characters are oblivious to their presence until it's too late. It makes that shift to a zombie movie that much funnier. They also don't shy away from showing us some of the gruesome scenes when the zombies eventually become an integral part of the story. There is a coming of age aspect to the story that becomes clear when you watch it. Now, I can't believe I'm going to try and convince people that there's more to this funny zombie movie that meets the eye. The least I can do is give you guys my interpretation. The zombies have a deeper meaning in the story than it first appears. In a way, the zombies represent the outcome of Shaun's failure to mature and take responsibility for his life. His carefree, slacker attitude made him oblivious to the dangers that were right in front of him, and his reluctance to come up with a plan also plays to his downfall. When he finally comes up with a plan and does something, it's done out of necessity. He becomes a reluctant hero of sorts in his own story, like Ash from the Evil Dead movies. His relationship with his lazy screw-up of a friend, Ed, also serves to show us an immature side of the character that he refuses to let go. We see that Ed is basically leeching off him, and his presence in his life only serves as a distraction to Shaun, as they spend most of their time playing video games, drinking, and partying at the Winchester, ignoring any responsibility. Ed does eventually redeem himself by sacrificing his own life so that Sean and his girlfriend can escape. But in the beginning, he's clearly holding him back in life, and Sean's refusal to accept this, despite numerous interventions from others, is what ultimately keeps him stuck in life and also kills his romantic relationship. What I like about this reading of the film is that it doesn't suggest that we need to completely dissociate ourselves from any leisurely activities that brings us joy in our life. We don't find the answer by refusing to have fun because of our adult responsibilities, but we do by seeking balance in everything. We need to have a plan. Might not be the best one, but it's at least a plan. Because the biggest mistake is acting when it's too late. And next thing you know, you have zombies flying around everywhere. He manages to find that balance, which is why by the end of the movie we find Sean, who has seemingly made amends with Liz in a world that is recovering from the pandemic, still playing video games with Ed, who's now a zombie. Which makes this kind of a weird, happy ending of sorts. So there you go. I like this movie so much. I've watched it like 4 times already, once with the director's commentary. So let's talk about the media itself. This is a great DVD presentation. I like the cover art. This is a Region 2 disc. The picture quality and sound mix is great. I like how the DVD menu looks. You get this kind of cool, interactive animated menu inspired by the Winchester pub that we see in the movie. The DVD has a lot of special features, including extended deleted scenes, posters, a short comic book strip, outtakes, trailers, promotional materials, one including the members of the band Coldplay. It also has some really good behind the scenes footage that gives us a little insight of how the team managed to develop the story. One of them takes us through a storyboard that Simon and Edgar prepared for the movie. We also get one showing us how they managed to achieve the various special effects in the movie. I like how they used a mixture of practical and digital effects, and I found some of them really impressive. We also get some behind the scenes look at how some of the zombie makeup was done. And lastly, we do get various commentary tracks, including one from the director and the writer, and also from some selected actors from the movie. I like how extensive the bonus material is, and watching it, I got the sense that everyone had fun making the movie. The amount of passion that went into the project is clearly visible from everyone, and you love to see it. In conclusion, I'm so glad to have this in my collection, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes horror comedies, zombie flicks. If you like watching a fun movie that probably doesn't take itself too seriously, then you can't go wrong with Shaun of the Dead.